Right, if you were out and about earlier today thinking it doesn't seem that windy to me, I guess what the moral of the story here is just wait a little bit.
Yeah, this thing picked up quick. We already have blowing dust, and it's the reason we have the blowing dust advisory, and we even now have blowing dust warnings. If you got one on your phone and you're driving, well, hopefully you didn't look at your phone, but if you got one on your phone and you're heading out driving or at a stoplight, that means there is blowing dust around you. Take a look at what we have. That's I-90 near Medical Lake. That is incredible, or the I-90 Medical Lake exit off I-90. Near zero visibility in some locations. We saw it even worse somewhere else, but the wind quickly picked up, or the rain, excuse me, right thereafter. And in a lot of these storms, it's going to be the dust followed by the rain because of the outflow of that storm. We talked a lot about the weather impact alert day, and that is for this exact reason. Near zero visibility earlier, rain moves through, pushes that dust out, but it's still enough that we are contending with near zero visibility and blowing dust in a lot of locations. Our weather impact alert runs through tonight, and so do our wind advisories and blowing dust advisories, and even some of the blowing dust warnings for a little bit longer. I got rid of everything. These are just our blowing dust warnings. So basically, from central Washington along Interstate 90, all the way up through Spokane and into Post Falls, 395 up to Deer Park, all of those locations are reporting blowing dust, even out near Davenport, even as you make your way down to 2 and I-90, so right about there. So if you're just to the west of town, let's say you're heading out to the airport, or that would, heading out to the airport, then you're looking at near zero visibility. I think we have a look at that. Here we go. There it is, near zero visibility. Look at the stark difference. This would be, I'm just trying to figure out where we are here with this. So this would be the exit for the airport right here if you're coming up the hill. If you're coming up I-90, if you're looking down the hill, we should be able to see downtown off in the distance, and that is just not the case. It is that kind of a reduction in visibility, but look at how quickly it comes on. You're clear, and then you instantly have some of that dust, and that's going to be the case for the rest of the day. So if your phone buzzes, the reason it is doing that is because conditions will deteriorate rapidly. Look at this, just near zero visibility. Let's go ahead and talk about how this all plays out for the next few hours, because wind is likely going to remain strong, pretty widespread, through about sunset and then start dying down. The biggest spots of wind are going to be associated with the outflow of these thunderstorms. We have a few strong thunderstorms down to our south and up over the Panhandle. There's a little bit of rain coming down in central Washington. Let's talk about the storms first, because Pullman, you are likely going to see some strong wind, some blowing dust, some hail out of this, and frequent thunder and lightning. Lewiston, it's a similar story. That storm now moving toward you there in Moscow. Another storm up near Wallace. This one was packing a bit of a punch earlier. Some strong wind gusts associated with it, as well as a little bit of hail reported by radar. That is now working its way out. Widespread though, the rain and storms will continue to lift up. Once we get a little bit of rain everywhere and cool our temperatures slightly, the threat of those severe thunderstorms will diminish. Once we get a little more moisture, the threat of the dust advisories and dust warnings will diminish. Those eventually work their way out, and it is all about the sunshine heading through the next couple of days. But getting there is a bit of a wild ride. The rest of the evening we have more dust and storms to contend with. I'll walk you through those throughout the remainder of the evening, but here's how it all plays out. Once they move out, our temperatures trend much closer to those seasonal norms. 75 by Friday, back near 80 by Saturday. Quick look, 1 second here. Look at how quickly this shot deteriorated from the start of weather to now. You cannot hardly see through downtown, and look at that flag blow.